All right. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. Welcome to the last session of our first half of the Trading for Charity event. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Glad to be with you all. Today, we're going to be doing some live trading, making some money here in our portfolios, while also helping raise money for Levine Children's Hospital. So, as always, there's two ways to donate. If you want to donate, all of that is greatly appreciated. It goes towards helping the kids going through a rough time here at Levine. And there's two ways to donate. You can either donate directly to us. That'll be summed up and tallied at the very end and used to buy the toys, the clothing, all the needs that they need, or all the goods that they need at Levine. That will be donated directly, which we'll make a video about, and you guys can see that later on this year. Or if you don't want to do that, or if you don't want to go through the PayPal system that we have set up, as always, you can use the second link down in the description of today's video and donate directly to their general fund through our fundraiser page that we have set up as well. Hey, Marguerite, coming in the first VV Nation. Glad to have you here, Marguerite. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, let's see that. If you guys can hear me out there, let's see those VV Nations showing up in the chat. Get those going. It's Friday. It's a good day. The markets are going crazy, up and down, negative, positive. So let's see if we can make some money with all this going on right now. All right, so let's jump right into it here today. All right, going into our Unisearch tool. I haven't done any pre-prep for it, so that way you guys get to see everything as well. But starting off, taking a look at our most favorite search here, the daily boomers for the upside. As always, long positions tend to be easier to get into and exit than short positions. So we're going to start with those first, especially with all the major indices in the green here. All right, so very first stock coming up, PXMD. Nice pop right out of the gate. No real follow through, pulling back as we speak. One of the things, talking about trends, let the trend be your friend. We had a breakdown of the trend line here, but realistically, I'd put it right around there. You do have a breakout, very low volume though. Moving on from that one. Hey, Carla, hopefully you're doing well. IC could be interesting. This one, more of a resistance breakout that we're looking for at around the 2234 level. Still has some time to go, some time to develop, but going to be patient, wait for that. And we got Terrell coming in as a new member to the VV Nation. Welcome, Terrell. Everybody, VV Nation, show Terrell some love. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you're doing well today. All right, moving on, CLFD, slow and steady, moving higher. Also, that price tag makes it a little bit harder to, get the kind of gains we're looking for in a short period of time. DLO, I like this one. You're seeing some consolidation here. You have this level of resistance. We can break above that. Some new potential opportunities could be arising here. APLS, not enough volume. G-Sun looks interesting. We'll add that to our list. ARDX. ARDX consolidating right now. Right now you have, let's just go ahead and put this on here. You have these higher lows, but also lower highs. Looks like we're getting ready to break out as we speak. So ARDX will be on our list. Just going through quickly. Want to get in some trades early on here today. GLYC will add to our list. All right, so GLYC. ARDX, G-Sun, DLO, and PXMD. Let's go ahead and get those in here real quick. We don't want to miss out on some opportunities. So G-Sun, what were the other two? Just to make sure. DLO, PXMD. All right. Getting those going. ARDX. I like what we're seeing here. Stuck at $2. Well, starting to move right now. Of course, right when we pull it up, start seeing some action in it. So let's go ahead, get a trade ticket ready just in case. right, got my trade ticket going. Let's see, coming back down to retest the upper part of this consolidation. Happens quite often, so I'm not surprised to see that. Just being patient though, wanting to make sure that we see that bounce off of there. Looking at it, decent volume breaking out, not a whole lot of follow through, pulling back a little bit, but on light volume, that's okay as a retest. Jumping right into it here today. All right, let's see. There we go. All right, so ARDX, we got filled at 207. Right now, it's trading at 208.41, up about 0.5% right out of the gate. A-okay with that one. Now, line in the sand, using this trend line. As we can see, we broke out from the consolidation here. Now we're looking to see it really take off from this point. So if we're looking at the consolidation or looking at it as a play of consolidation, a consolidation breakout, line in the sand is going to be where that consolidation meets. So maximum about 205 or so is going to be the cutoff on it. If it breaks down below that point, simply cut it, move on. 3-cent loss, I can handle that. But if it continues to run and we continue to see this stronger volume picking up, could have a nice little winner here right out of the gate. And then looking at a potential resistance of 213. So if we can break this 208 peak that we're hitting currently on the last couple of minutes, our next stop we're looking at is going to come either 210. We'll keep an eye on it at that point, and then 213. If we break above 213, we're off to the races with this one. All right, so just being patient with it. Why we're waiting on that to really develop and continue to move. Hey, Mona, hopefully you're doing well. Just to give an update on the portfolio right now, up 2.5% so far for the day. Still have our ACGL, still have our SMCI. May have to revisit that one. And then our ARDX that we have right now. Looking at our equity curve since we started the portfolio, nice steady bottom left to upper right. So I like seeing that here. Portfolios continuing to grow, making money on a consistent basis. And that's what it's all about. You know, not only are you learning about how to manage a portfolio properly, you're learning about how to, scalp some trades, make some money on a short-term intraday basis. But also, if you make some gains off of these, I strongly urge you take some of those gains, donate them to Levine Children's Hospital. Help us meet our goals. We have some milestones for everybody, some fun ones closer to the end, but we got to get there first and foremost. As you can see above me, we're 70% of the way there to our third milestone. So, we're getting close there, but we have about 13 total, and it's up to you guys on how far you guys want to go. But if you have some good gains in trades, or if you just want to show some support, make sure to use that link down in the description below. And that way you can donate directly to us, which will go towards Levine, buying the goods, the products, all of that will be donated directly to them. Hey, and Becky coming in with a $35 donation to Levine. Thank you very much, Becky. I appreciate that. All of that goes to helping out for a great cause. BB Nation, show them some love. Thank you very much, Becky. I appreciate that. All right, so starting off, consolidating, seeing that volume lightening up here over the last couple of minutes, being patient with it. Still have our line of sand here from that trend line around 205, but like to see it start picking back up. As we zoom in a little bit, volume starting to increase a little bit, seeing some nice buying coming in on these lows. So on the last little bit of consolidation, so basically from 203 or 1203 till now, so about 6 minutes, we do have this point at 206 that we haven't broken down below. Seems to be some buying pressure at that 206 point. Yeah, appreciate that, Becky. Thank you very much. Hopefully you're having a good day so far today. And as you saw, tried to break above on that last little tick right before the minute changed. Stalled out. Now starting to see some more of that buying. So that order flow coming from the beginning to the end, you're seeing a little bit of difference here in the price action. So moving back in, there we go. Being patient with it. Now, as we always talk about, we got to be patient. We've had some great trades that take a little bit to develop, but once they start going, they start really rocking and rolling, and that's what we're looking for. You know, so far, so I was analyzing my trades earlier today from all the trades we've done inside of the Trading for Charity portfolio so far. And out of 18 trades, we have 12 winners, 6 losers. So we are betting about 66% win rate, which is extremely impressive. You know, typically 40 to 50% is really strong. You can still easily make money with 40 to 50% winning trades. Right now we're batting at about 66% average, so not too shabby. And that's the thing, is on our losses, they've been extremely small, which is why we talk about money management, what we've been covering here throughout our streams. And that has helped the portfolio stay in the green and in the right direction here. All right, but when I was going through them though, we haven't really had the big home run trade yet. So that's what I'm kind of itching for. Would like to have one today, but if not today, next Tuesday, or not next Tuesday, next week is Thanksgiving. We will not be doing Trading for Charity next week, but the week after we will be back finishing up the final stretch. And on that note, the Tuesday after the Thanksgiving week, we will be doing, once again, you guys had a lot of fun with it. It seemed a lot of people enjoyed it. So we'll do one more extended version of the Trading for Charity stream, where we'll start at 9 a.m. I'll do the Jockey Club on Tuesday and the Trading for Charity event all at the same time. So since you guys seem to really like that last time, we got a lot of interest in it, a lot of people here, a lot of activity, and we got to take advantage of by far the most active hours in the market. So we're going to do that one more time. That will be the last one we do for the extended Trading for Charity stream. So make sure you are here for that. You don't want to miss out, especially if we start hitting some of these further goals. You're not going to want to miss out on some of the giveaways that we have coming up for you guys. So make sure to be here for those as well. All right. Being patient, looking into it. It looks like it's trying to break that 209. We've hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times here. Let's go. Let's get above that level. Start moving higher. Start seeing the market overall climbing here, or seeing our trade climb here. But on a positive note, the 3 and the 8 are still positive. During this consolidation we're seeing here, volume lightened up a little bit. So that tells us from an investor psychology standpoint, nobody's really dumping yet. Nobody's really, locking in profits. There's no big sell orders coming in. So the bulls still have control for the majority of this move here. Just looks like some consolidation, waiting for that breakout. Come on, come on. Let's get a run. You want to break above 210. So while we're waiting on this, how's everybody doing today? Let me know how you guys are doing here on this Friday. Are you guys enjoying yourselves? You guys been having any good trades today or this week? Let me know. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. All of that helps us out and continues to grow this amazing VV Nation community that we've built here over the last few years. And it doesn't even cost you anything. So if you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button. Help us out with the YouTube algorithm so that way we can continue to grow and bring more awareness to our Trading for Charity event as well. All right, come on. Come on, there we go. Starting to move. Are we going to be able to break though? Man, 209 has been a tough level here over the last few minutes. One of the things I want to do is I want to thin this down a little bit. And I want to change the color. That's kind of hard to see. There we go. All right, so 209. Can we break out? Oh, delete that. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Whew. All right, so back to Carlo was asking about ARDX, saying stuck at $2 on this trade. Well, here's the thing. As we've been talking about with this tight consolidation, it gives you some ideas of potential lines in the sand. This 206 level. We started here, then moved up to that 210, came back down, retested it once, twice. So now, if you don't want to use a line in the sand that's pulling away from the price or moving lower with the price, what you can do is look for these points where we've had some support on the short-term time frame over the last little bit, at 206 being that level. And as long as it stays above that point, it means the stock's still moving sideways or moving higher. If it breaks down below, that means the stock's moving lower, and that gives you the criteria you're looking for to cut that position early without risking too much. Without risking too much there, giving back too much. All right, so I wanted to turn that off so I can get my manual cells available to me. Just in case. PRQR is going up today quite well. We'll have to take a look. It didn't show up in my initial scan, at least that I recall, but we'll take a look. Hey, Richard, hopefully you're doing well. VV Nation coming into the house. Like seeing that one. Glad you could be here today. All right, 206, just stalling out right at that level of support. But make or break moment at that point. So now what we can do, we'll go ahead, close that out real fast. Delete this because now we're out of that consolidation. So we need to focus on our main moves. Randy coming in as a new member to the VV Nation. Welcome, Randy. Glad you could be here. Welcome to the VV Nation. So we've got it close. Now we can zoom in, keep a closer eye on this here. You can see 206 is now our new support. Instead of moving or using that downtrend line that's continuing to pull away from the current price action, using a key support level here over this short time frame, because we've once again hit it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. It tried to break down on the 4th time, failed to do so. Now we're starting to see it turn around a little bit, but we need to see it really climb. Also, I'm keeping a close eye on volume here as well, because we're seeing a decent up move periodically on this minute, but volume hasn't quite backed that up yet. So I'm looking for another big key indication by utilizing volume at the bottom there. Watching it here. Let's go. Let's go. The people want to see the show. All right, don't tell Glenn I just had a brief moment of singing here. I don't want to steal his thunder. Come on, let's go. See the breakout. Hey, Maria, hopefully you're doing well. It's always a good day when you're hanging out with the VV Nation, right? All right. Keeping an eye on it here. The 3 just crossed above the 8 again. But volume really hasn't given a whole lot of conviction behind this uptick right now. So at this stage, I'm remaining cautiously optimistic, I think is the best way to describe this situation here. I've got my finger on the trigger just in case I need to sell quickly, but I'm still giving it some time to develop and not being emotional with my trade. I'm following the systematic setup that we have here. Uh-oh. Back up to that level of resistance. We're going to be able to break through. Volume's already increasing higher than what it's been most recently here. Watching it. Taller upper wick. Showing some indecision. This 210, 209 has been a pretty strong level of resistance so far. So that just tells us we break above that, we could see an explosive move coming in, and that's what we're looking for. Come on. At resistance right now. You know you want to go. You know you want to go. Come on. Interestingly enough, if we can hold this by the end of the minute for the next 5 seconds, this will be the first time we stayed and closed above that level of resistance there. Pulling back to retest. Up about 1% to 1.25% so far. Come on. Now that we've closed above 209, 209 is now our line of sand, so we can move this 206 up. Realistically, probably closer to about 212 is the true resistance. Granted, you hit this double top here. You know what? We'll put it at 213 just to be safe. But you hit once and twice at that 213 level and came back down. So now our new trading range is between 209 and 213. Hey, and Jake coming in with the $25 donation to Levine Children's Hospital. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate that. As always, VV Nation, anytime anybody donates to help the cause, help the kids for this holiday season, you got to show them some love. So let's get some hearts going in chat for one, Jay, and also 2 for Becky as well, because Becky donated 35 earlier. So let's get some hearts in chat going for them right now. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you for being here as well. All right. We're right at that point. Came back down to retest, bouncing off of it. That's exactly what you want to see. Let's see if we can close in the upper 50% of the range. And notice on the pullback for the retest, lower volume relative to what it was previously, moving it higher. That's a positive sign. That's exactly what you want to see here. But AMC is making a turn up for a 5% gain. Well, hey, as long as you have a successful trade, Lou, more power to you. I don't really care what anybody, what anybody trades. You can trade whatever you want to, whatever you're most comfortable with. If you find a good looking setup, by all means trade it. As long as you make money, my hat's off to you. That's, we're all about supporting one another here. Having good trades. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you're making money doing it. The stock market is completely non-emotional. It doesn't care about your feelings, doesn't care what you had for breakfast, doesn't care what you're going to be doing for Thanksgiving. So we got to treat it the same. We don't care what exactly it is. Every stock is just simply a mode to get us to our goal of making money and growing our capital. So doesn't matter what the ticker symbol is, as long as you're making money, that's all you can ask for. All right, keeping an eye on it right now because we did close below that 209 support here on that last minute. This is going to be a deciding factor. Stronger volume as well kicking in on that pullback. So if it can't close above that 209, then the odds that it continues to move higher, not very good. Come on, you got to do it. You got to do it. All right, close to below. Gonna go ahead, send that through. Made about a 0.5% on that trade. Let me double check here by the closing date on it. All right, so the fill wasn't great. Filled at fractional pennies above that. Is what it is. All right, let's move on. Get rid of this one as always. Once we finish making the trade, we move on to the next one. We don't stick around. Don't keep looking at it, trying to find a new opportunity with that one trade. If it doesn't go our way, or if once we get out of it, non-emotional, moving on, don't get attached to it. G-Sun continuing to run. This was it. I like what we're seeing here. Volume's picking up a little bit. You got resistance at 320. Let's go take a look at the market. Oh, man. DTI bearish indicator really leading the charge, but we've got a few here that are moving in their own direction, not going with the overall market. So that's where we're going to be kind of sticking with for right now, at least. Pull that up. Being patient with it. Got my finger on the trigger. Come on, G-Sun. You got more? I got focused on one trade. Didn't look through them all once I put them back in. Just went to the first one we had in the list. And I pay the consequences on that one. This is why you should always double check your work. Right here is a perfect example of that. So looking at it here, what we're seeing is an oversold territory starting to slow down a little bit. You're seeing some consolidation here at this point. MACD starting to roll over. DPO starting to roll over. I think we may have missed out on that good opportunity there, folks, but we'll just give it one more minute just to see. Whew. Big selling pressure right now. That was a quick rollover on that one. Now, levels to keep an eye on. Once I get to there we go. 278 would be a decent support floor to look for. And then you have some consolidation at 268.5. So at 288, you still have more downside before you get to that potential support there. Now, one other option would be a very, very short-term trade, but look for that snapback after an extended move to the downside like we saw here. There is that potential trade as well. Doesn't have nearly the type of profit target we'd be looking for, but if you're scalping a trade, that is a viable plan or viable option as well. The way you'd play that, get in now. As long as it stays above that point, you're good. I still like the setup on it though, even with that big sell-off. I'm going to wait for it to get closer to that support, but could be interesting. Had a good run here. If it gets follow through or gets continuation or a new run coming in, could be a neat or an interesting trade here. So, big sell-off indecision. At the low there, where's that low? 282. Okay, so we're now below that point. So now we're keeping an eye on that 278 level. Got a trade ticket ready. I'm interested to see, with such a steep sell-off, I'm interested to see how it handles that 278 support. Because right now you're witnessing firsthand the panic selling. So people who bought towards the top and then watched that immediate drop, they're just trying to get out as fast as possible. So you're seeing that panic selling going on over the next couple of minutes. And then you start seeing the smart money coming in, scooping them back up for cheap. All the way down to that 260, 265, maybe even more than that. All right, big long tail on that candle. Right at that support floor. You know what? I'm putting an order in at that point. Let's see if we can get filled on that. If I can get filled right around that 269 support, 268 support roughly. And then you have the right by this support where it is right now. I'd be okay with that. Very minimal risk exposure to the downside. A lot of upside potential for a rebound. All right, and it looks like I did get filled at that 269, so I'm up 2.6% so far on this trade. Let's get above 277 or 278. We can do that. We have a nice cushion baked in already. But yeah, came down, pierced support with that lower tail, saw a lot of buying pressure coming in, pushing it back higher, all the way back up to that second resistance level of 278. So now we have support at 269. That's our cost basis as well. So we're right at that support level. If it breaks below that, we'll quickly get rid of it. But you know, I like the setup. Over dramatized sell-off. Looking for that rebound now. Keeping my trade ticket open though, because this one is definitely a little bit more aggressive than our standard trades here, I'd say. And now for this one, even a little bit of a retracement will put us in a pretty good situation with this trade. What I mean by that is, you know, right now we're already up 3.5%, 4% so far on this trade. And we just got into it a minute ago. We have consolidation around 290. At this point, we're already at 3.5 to 4. At 290, we're going to be probably close to about double-digit gains at that point. So, you know, we're in a nice spot on an entry level or on an entry basis on this trade. And even as a slight rebound from that over dramatized sell-off can still net us a decent gain and return on this trade. So that's what we're looking for right now. At 280 though, we are up over 4%. So I like where we're at on this one. Let's go. Consolidating at 278. Come on, bounce off. Let's see it move higher. How many shares am I going with? So on this one, it was a couple hundred shares, I believe, Richard. All right, major sell-off over. Let's see that new buying start to commence, start pushing it higher again. We may see some consolidation in this zone. That's fine. May not be a V-shaped recovery, but a recovery after an over-exaggerated sell-off is definitely a high probability trade right there. Come on, let's go. I need to see that volume start coming back in. Stalling out right at 278. There we go. There we go. 4.8, 5. Let's see it climb. All right, try to break out, pull them back. Still lower volume, so therefore you're going to see more volatility in the moves. Let's see it bounce. It was looking like it was trying to turn around or turn that corner on that volume there. So yeah, for anybody just tuning in or not familiar with this, this would be considered more of a retracement trade rather than a breakout trade that we typically do. So it's a little bit different than probably what most are used to seeing on a lot of our trades that we do here in Trading for Charity. But at the same time, it still has a the same type of setup, same type of trading philosophy that you would go through or go with. Wait a second. Why didn't it put the full? Oh, it was just a partial fill. That's why. All right, so apparently I did not get nearly the amount of shares I thought I did. I was looking at it and I was like, wait a second, that seems like a really small position size. It only put about half of my position in instead of the full position. Apparently I only got a partial fill at my entry of 269. Good to know. So now, knowing that, I have a lot better risk management capabilities because now I give it more room to run. If it's a riskier trade, I can have more room for it to run and not have to worry about trying to manage penny by penny because now it's a smaller position. There is less risk or less capital at play, so my potential reward isn't going to be as high, but at the same time, my risk will now be lower. So if the trade happens to go against me, because it's only happening on a smaller amount, it's not going to affect the portfolio as much. All right, bounced off. Coming back down to retest. You saw the breakout here. Coming back down to retest. Is it going to bounce? If we can see a bounce coming up, we'll stay into it. But I want to see this 278 hold. Still, at this point, up 3.5%, 4%, 3.5 to 4%. Not bad. Even though it's a partial fill, I was wondering why it wasn't adding as much gain to the portfolio. Glad I double checked that, folks. All right, come on. 3 and 8 are consolidating. There we go. 5.5. See if we can get more. Back down to 4.5. Volume's lightening up. That's the one thing that's a little bit concerning here. Speaking of volume, there we go. 8.5% on that last move so far. Here's that volume. So we've got a few more seconds on that move. Huh? Let's see it. You know what? I'm going to take my sell order off because we're not getting confirmation quite yet. You had the reversal, the weak reversal sign here, but you're not getting confirmation on that next minute, which tells us G-Sun may not be done yet. $283. Let's go. Let's get back above 290. Come on, slow and steady on this one right now. There's 290. $290's acting as a pretty strong resistance level here. But we are starting to see bigger orders finally hitting the tape here. And that's what you want to see. $285. Let's go. Let's get above 290 again. Let's get back into the fun zone. Interestingly enough, looking at it here, with the tight consolidation bumping up against 290, we are starting to see the 3 and the 8 finally turning positive. Looking at the MACD, MACD's almost on a short-term basis getting ready to turn positive as well. Stochastics still have more upside before we get to that overbought territory. So I like what we're seeing here based off the charts. $284. Come on. Let's see it. Let's go. Piercing support. Let's see it bounce off of this. Clear this whole area here. About 15 seconds left. Still got some time on it to develop. So it closed down below. Next minute's the important minute, the follow through minute. Just trying to climb back. And this is also an important time frame for this trade right now as well, because you had the low here. So if it holds this 278 support and bounces off and moves higher, then now you're seeing higher lows. And as we talk about, higher lows leads to higher highs. So even though it did just pull back, pierce that, we're keeping an eye on that follow through, which right now we've got about 5 seconds left, but things are looking solid that it's going to be able to hold at least. That would start to indicate now a higher low being formed, a new uptrend starting to emerge. All we need for that final confirmation piece is for it to break that 290, therefore creating those higher lows leading to higher highs here. So that's what we're looking for right now. Just being patient with it. All right. Failed to break above. Came back down below. Go ahead and send that trade through. Just waiting for confirmation. Hey, Glenn, hopefully you're doing well. And Maria, like she said, share, like, and subscribe. If you're new here or if you're just tuning in, make sure to share, like, and subscribe today. All that helps us out. And if you want to donate, use the link down in the description below where you can donate either to us, which goes towards the gifts and toys and all that we donate directly to Levine, or you can use the second link and donate to the Levine Children's Hospital General Fund. Either way, but we've got a lot of milestones to go, so make sure you got to do your part. You got to help the cause. If you have some trades, you make some gains, get in the holiday spirit and take some of those gains and put them towards a good cause, Levine Children's Hospital here. All right, just waiting for my order to come or show that it got filled, and then we'll move on from this one. Should be getting filled right there. $2.25%, not bad, but still, we still haven't had one of those grand slams yet, and that's what everybody is waiting for. There we go. All right, 2.25 on G-Sun. Moving on from that one. GLYC. We were looking at this one earlier. Zooming out. Oh, take that off. There we go. Zooming out. Big run up earlier, but now, what do we see here starting to form? Lower highs, higher lows. Volumes drying up a little bit through this consolidation. Be patient for that consolidation here, though. Wait for the breakout from consolidation. Let's go check out some of the other trades we had. DLO, big spike higher, no follow through, pulling back now. So, for anybody interested in this trade, not my personal favorite, but you do have this uptrend that it's been forming most of the session here today. Came back down and retested it, bouncing off. That could be a setup for somebody out there. PXMD just really isn't going anywhere here today, so we're going to get rid of that one. Pretty much flatlined at this stage. GLYC, we need to see it break out. Also need to see volume kicking back in. Let's go see. Did I have any? Oh yeah, AMC, PRQR. Let's go add those here and take a look. AMC had to move earlier, right out of the gate, but since that point, been steadily moving lower here. So probably going to skip on this one for now. PRQR, I like the trade, but not at my $2 minimum price criteria. So not going to be taking either of those trades here today. Let's go ahead and take a look. SMCI, I may just cut it here. It's down about 4.5%. Let's go zoom out a little bit. We had our line of sand set at that support at 86.02. We're failing to really get above that point. We'll come back to this towards the later or the end of the stream. If it's not back above 86.02, we'll just go ahead, cut it, move on, instead of trying to give it more time here. Ever trade in the 9:30 time frame? Yeah, every Tuesday. So every Tuesday, I either host a jockey club when I'm not doing our trading for charity event, Richard. I host a jockey club, and I'm there every Tuesday doing live trading with that. But also, as I stated at the very beginning, last Tuesday or this most recent Tuesday, we did a little bit of a hybrid trading for charity and our jockey club event. We did a little bit of a hybrid of both. So both communities came together. We got to have it for both sessions. We went from about 9 a.m. when the jockey club starts till about noon. So our jockey club members got an extended session last week or on Tuesday. Everybody seemed to really like it. The jockey club members like having the extended session. We seem to have a lot more engagement from you guys, the VV Nation, on our YouTube channel. We had an awesome giveaway. You guys were interacting a lot more with each other. So we're going to be doing that one more time. It's going to be our last time we do that for the Trading for Charity event, where if you want to see a sneak peek of these trades during our main peak hours, or from that 9:30 to that 10:30 time frame, that first hour trading when volatility is the highest, where you can get some bigger gains. make sure to tune in on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So that way you can check that out. See what the Jockey Club is about if you're not already a Jockey Club member. And if you want to, there's a link that we'll have for you so you can sign up for the Jockey Club if you want. But yeah, so if you don't remember that, make sure, or if you're not good at remembering dates, if you're not writing it down, make sure to hit that red. If the button below me says subscribe in red, make sure to hit that button there and turn on the notifications, that little bell icon. And that way you'll get an alert letting you know when we go live on Tuesday at 9 a.m. The week after Thanksgiving. So that's always one way of taking care of that and having the ability not to forget there. I'm not a day trader, but I use your parameters when entering and exiting a trade. Maria, there's nothing wrong with that. The same setup, the same type of trading style that we look at here on as a day trade can also be applied for swing trades. It's just for our trading for charity event, because it's, over a given time frame. Nobody has a few months to sit around and wait for a stock to develop. So, we're going more aggressive, going shorter term trades. So that way, you guys get to see it firsthand, but the same methodology that we cover here can be applied for swing trades as well. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, going through. Here's our ARDX once again, still consolidating. Hasn't been able to break that level of resistance at 213. DLO. Long. So I like the trade, just not enough volume on some of these right now, especially for options expiry day. I was expecting to see a lot more bigger swings here than what we're getting today. All right, INDI. I like the setup. You're just kind of moving sideways with a little bit of upward pressure. Looks like it may be building a little bit. So 771. If we can see a breakout above that point, or 7071, that could be an interesting opportunity there. G-Sun, glad we got out when we did. Instead of letting it turn into a loss, end up taking a little bit of a gain. ATAI, I like what we're seeing here. Nice upward trend so far. Not enough volume on that one. So ATAI, let's go ahead, add that to our list. And after this trade, if this isn't a big explosive one, we're going to start looking at short trades, because last Friday, a week ago, our short trades were making money every single time. Our long trades weren't really doing a whole lot. We're seeing kind of similar conditions. So if ATAI can get some volume behind it, this could be quite interesting. Looking at it here, 3,000 shares traded on that minute, not too shabby. Indecision on that high. I'm going to get my trade ticket ready just in case. But after seeing that doji forming on that breakout, brings a little bit of uncertainty on what's going to happen next with this one. The good news is, if we do get in early, if we do get in at this point, we have a tight stop on it. Came back down to retest. See if this minute can hold. If it can, we may take it. About 10 more seconds. Light volume, but let's see if we can get some new volume coming in. All right, you know what? I'll put it in. See if we get filled. Partial fill. You can tell the trades we're having to take today for the long side are a lot riskier so far. Lower volume that we're having to kind of settle for. I don't like doing that, but gotta be patient. Filled 100 shares. Seriously? This is why having a good broker is extremely important. Boy, oh boy. Execution for this is definitely a must. And if you don't have a broker that has the best execution, if you're going to be trying to day trade, it makes it like trying to box with one hand tied behind your back. Just keeping an eye on it here. You know what? If it's not going to be able to fill, I'm just going to dump, close out, and move on. So let's go ahead, get that set up. Place it for 318 since it won't let me do fractionals. Should be able to get filled there. Yeah, if it's only going to fill 100 shares, I'm good. I am not going to stick around with that. There we go. All right, filled at 318. So ATAI, this is a great example of why you got to look at volume. We only got filled on 100 shares out of the, I think, close to 1,000. So it only filled about 1/10 of the position. If it can only fill a portion of it, not worth sticking around for. Market. All right, so interesting setup right now on the VectorVest composite. Right now, we have a higher low. Let's see if that higher low can lead to higher highs. You know, we know today's option expiry day. So therefore, we could see some bigger swings coming in the latter half of the session. And also, if you guys are just sitting out there watching, trying to take notes and haven't donated already or haven't donated to Levine's, make sure to use that link down in the description below. Donate so we can get to our goals, reach our milestones that we have set for you guys. Some fun, interesting milestones for you guys out there. But let's get some of those coming in. You know, we're trying to get in the holiday spirit. What better way of getting in the holiday spirit than helping kids who need it the most? So make sure to use that link down in the description below so that way you can help support Levine Children's Hospital. It's the biggest southeastern children's biggest children's hospital in the southeast. All right. Not seeing a whole lot of luck on the upside. So, switching course. PBT. Big sell-off, getting a little bit of a relief rally. Resistance at 1805 could be an interesting trade right there. Not enough volume on that one. BRBR, Berber. I like this one, seeing some decline or big drop right there. But once again, looking at volume now, volume's a little off on that. VERX moving in the wrong direction. So out of those, PBT is the best looking candidate for the downside here. Let's go ahead and put that in. Pull that over. Doji right at that level. You know what? I'm going to put in a sell order or sell short order. Of course. Once again, folks, this is why it really helps having a good broker that has a good inventory, because when you're not and you try to take a short position, even if it's a great setup, you're not going to be able to take it. So, fortunately, you're not going to be able to take that trade. Are you still in ATAI? So, Carlo, no. What it did is it filled only 1/10 of the size of the position that I put in. And instead of sticking around, if it only can fill 1/10 of it when it was below that price, the liquidity just wasn't there. I was trying to force it. I'm trying to hit that home run for you guys, but unfortunately, you know, these middle of the day sessions definitely make it harder. So yeah, I didn't get in, or I got filled partially on ATAI, and then immediately got out for a penny gain on the 100 shares because it wasn't worth sticking around to see if I can get filled. If it's taken that long to get filled, it's the liquidity aspect is what really concerns me. Just going through. INDI finally retesting that resistance there. All right. So INDI, let's go ahead, put that in the list. GLYC, volume is too light for me now. INDI. Let's go ahead, zoom in. 771. If it gets to that point, we'll initiate the order. But volume, I mean, volume's not terrible, but it's definitely not as high as we've seen with a lot of other trades. Be impatient though. All right, got my finger on the trigger. Ready to see if we can explode. Come on, let's do it. We're going to break out. Let me go ahead, zoom in a little bit so we can see the price action a little bit better here. And then we'll zoom back out if we need to. Let's go get this set back up. And a question for everybody out there. Let me know your thoughts on this, like being able to see the screen right now. I know some people were complaining at the very beginning when I had it in full 1080 that you weren't able to see everything. So let me know how that looks. Type in a 1 if you guys can see everything pretty clearly, if you guys are having any issues, or if you guys aren't having any issues. Type in a 2 if you're still having any visual issues being able to see my screen here. Do you use buy stop orders to get in? Not always. They're not typically. Buy stop orders are great if you're not sitting there watching the trade. That way you can put in a trade and just, go do something else and come back and see if you got filled. I'm looking for visual confirmation, making sure that, volume is backing that up and everything as well. So I don't really I'll use limits and I'll use market orders. Those are the two main order types that I use. All right, so not seeing any 2s, that tells me that works. So I've had to dumb down the resolution a little bit so it makes everything look bigger. But hopefully that helps you guys out and helps be able to see what we're looking at a little bit clearer. All right, so failed to break out above 771. Now pulling back a little bit. Come on. All right, closing out of that, moving on. So one of the things, I may work on this over the holiday here, but one of the things I was thinking about, and maybe you guys can give your insight on if you guys would want to see this or not, but I was thinking about playing around with the unit search tool a little bit and looking for, or building a scan similar to the daily boomers, but looking for stocks that are getting halted, to take advantage of those volatility plays. And if I did, I would introduce it on that Tuesday following Thanksgiving. So would that be something you guys would be interested in seeing if I can, or see if I can, I'm not saying I will, but if I can, would you guys be interested in finding finding a scan that finds stocks that gets halted after a big explosive move? I thought about this earlier this morning. I haven't had time to play around with it or even get started with it, but it's an interesting concept that I've been thinking about here this morning. Okay. All right. So I'm seeing a few people that are interested in it. AMC, we looked at AMC. AMC was on the move to the downside. AMC gapped up a little bit, but then from that point forward was moving lower the whole entire time there, Lou. PBT, we don't have it available, so we can't trade that. DLO, still not moving. All right, so now that we've seen where the market's at, we're right back to that level of resistance, that previous high here. DTI bearish indicator has been pulling back. The bullish indicator has been gaining a lot of ground here. I like what we're seeing with that, but is it enough? Let's see. Just double checking some of the comments that were said. All right, let me get it back. There we go. Maximize that. Perfect. All right. And also, the fact that AMC is not showing up in my list tells me it is not on a move today. All right, looking at the major indices. VectorVest composite, basically break even. Man, on the options expiry, Jay, you got me too excited about the options expiry here today. Expecting some volatility, especially around that 1 o'clock time frame. That 1 to 3 time frame is usually when you start to see, options being exercised, starting to get closed. You're starting to see that move coming into the market. And we didn't get jack diddly here today. Dow's up about 0.25%. S&P is basically flat. Nasdaq's down 0.5%. Really, just a whole lot of nothing right now. Actually, let's do this. Let's look at the daily boomers for the trading for charity. Increased volume here. And all those. None of those are what we're looking for. Huh. Let's go do this. I'm cheating here today, folks, and I don't care. I'm using the Derby. Worst performers. Stocks to short. So, okay. TWST. A-Firm. TWST is in consolidation right now. Big move earlier. Consolidating currently. Lower highs off the low from this morning's session. Higher lows. I like the setup. Just got to wait. Just got to be patient. A-Firm. A-Firm may be turning the corner right now. The reason I say that, you have this trend line here. You broke out here. Maybe trying to turn the corner right now. Manipulated stocks look like they want to break out. All right, let's go take a look at them. I really wouldn't call GameStop looking for a breakout quite yet. Let's zoom out. You've been consolidating. You tried to break out here, pulled right back down. You have this level of resistance at around 27, what is that? 2780, 2780 I think is the mark that I had from before. 2780 until we can see it break out and sustain above that point. It was looking like it this morning and after hours yesterday, but it's pulling back right now. Granted, there's still some hours left in the market, but I don't know. Once we get above 2780, this is that trade we took back here. We got in here on the breakout day. I believe that was a Friday here. Over the weekend, it exploded that Monday. We had our profit locker on, so it locked our profit in on that big explosive move there. And since then, we haven't gotten back into it. Why? Because it's just been in a sideways channel. So at that point, you're missing out on opportunity elsewhere by locking up your cash while it moves sideways, not doing anything, rather than necessarily missing out on or losing actual capital appreciation. And that's coming from somebody who's a big GME fan. BBBY, I'm sorry, the play is not there, folks. No volume, no trading activity. AMC. The only person who got rich off this is a few YouTubers and Adam Aaron. He keeps, as long as the board continues to dump AMC, and I'm sorry if you're an AMC holder or if you enjoy this stock, if you make your money on it, great. But the ape thing was a way to bypass shareholders so that way they can dilute more shares. The only person selling are board members. I don't know, just doesn't have the same setup as the other ones. And even BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, yeah, they raised a little bit of money, but they're still struggling. They're still having a lot of issues. I mean, at least GME has a marketplace, zero debt. There's not no better. Get out of here. What was it? Citron. Trying to lump them all together, trying to lump GME with all the other ones is not the case. They're not the same. One is not the same. Yeah, look at this one's moving sideways, starting to move higher in a consolidation. Moving lower, broke down, no consolidation. Moving lower, you got a little bit of an uptick, but still overall not holding. They're not the same. If you think these three are the same, you need to go to the eye doctor immediately. All right, INDI, getting back into it. Still cannot break 771. Let's go take a look at our short trade. TWST, waiting for it to break down to the lower end of the envelope, or the lower end of consolidation there. Watching the market timing graph. One of the key things we want to keep an eye on. Yes, it's at a double top. But as long as this trend line holds, so if we're looking for new short opportunities, we're looking for the market moving in our favor, moving along with us. We need to see this trend line hold. We also need to see it break that point there. If we can't get that, then we're not going to be able to find some good momentum behind our trades. Hey, and Shelly coming in with a $25 donation to Levine Children's Hospital. Thank you very much, Shelly. Appreciate that. BV Nation, let's get some hearts in the chat for Shelly there. Thank you very much, Shelly. Once again, truly appreciate that. We're getting ready. Strong volume coming in. What's going on? Let's keep an eye on this here. Watching this minute. I'm not buying into the FOMO right there. That's the FOMO move, folks. For anybody not aware of that, if you've been caught up in this before, that is what we like to call the FOMO move. Appreciate the kind words, Shelly. Thank you. Thank you once again. And this is why you don't follow the FOMO move. You wait for follow through. I think they call the follow through, or another good name for follow through, is the post pistachio clarity. Some of you may get that, some of you don't. If you don't, that's fine. Don't worry about it. For those who do, enjoy that one. All right. So this is why. Broke right back down below 770. Now starting to see that moving or picking up some momentum to the downside here. Patience pays, folks. Patience pays. Huge buying coming in to get us off of those lows here, but let's see. Finished off in a doji. Can it reverse and start to move higher? Or is this big money over the last 3 minutes just getting some exit liquidity here? Come on, make up your mind. And with no volume on this move right now, I'm going to call this exit liquidity from a big player. 4,000 shares traded on that minute. Is it trying to? I don't know. This is looking a little dicey here for my blood. Just not getting the right feeling from this trade right now. All right, you know what though? Can't hit the home run if you don't try. I'm waiting to see how it handles this minute. Because after the buying on that dip for the doji, the move up a little bit, and then coming back down, then the doji forming here, indecision that it's going to continue to move higher. Ravi's saying Yahoo Finance is showing a price of $211.50 as of this second. Well, this is why you don't use Yahoo Finance, because it is clearly not trading at $2.11. Yeah, volume's lightening up. Only 300 shares traded on a minute. I'm out. I'm not pulling the trigger on that one. Not enough volume on that one. All right, let's go see SCMI. 8601 is our line in the sand. Right now we're 85.53. It has come back a little bit, but we need to see it climb way more than that. TWST, A-Firm. Yep, big money exit liquidity. That's what that right there is, folks. INDI, not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Let's go back into the Derby. One moment, folks. Gotta do my husband duty here. There we go. Cool. She's got both the kids, so she needs to make sure she can take the HOV. So I got to set that up for her real fast. Let her know that's taken care of. Cool. All right. Good to go. Let's get back into it. All right. So DTI bearish indicator 1.4. We've looked at that. Let's go 250,000. I'm looking for any bullish searches that come in the list to make it easier to find some tradable candidates here, because we know what we're using right now doesn't have great inventory on hand, unfortunately. Not IB. That's still all being worked out. There are some complications with that. I'm not going to get into details on that right now, but there are some complications. We had to get some things set up on the back end, so we're waiting for all of that to be finalized. So unfortunately, even though we started off with the IB account this year, after the first day or two, we had to stop using it while things get settled with that. So we've been using the Ally account, and as anybody here from the Jockey Club knows, Ally's inventory, if you're wanting to short stocks and play the market both up and down, is absolutely terrible. And their execution is not nearly as good as what we've seen with IB. There are some other ones. TradeStation could be another viable candidate to consider going forward, but yeah, we're limited on our inventory that we have available. All right, let's do bullish searches. Let's go see some of these here. ASC, just not enough volume here right now. Same with TRMD. These stocks trade over 250,000 on average on a daily basis, but today the volume is just really light on a lot of them. One of the things we can do, go into all searches, change it from Derby View. Wait, what am I? Let me make sure I'm doing it right. Spreadsheet view, I think it is. It's been a while since I've done it this way. Yeah. 5-minute deltas, going through the deltas, seeing what has performed the best over the last certain time frame. Whew. So, let's go ahead and take a look. Russell. Let's go ahead, quick test these. This is a strategy I haven't used in quite a long time. Say okay. SI followed by NOVT. SI could be seeing a breakout here. NOVT just not enough volume. So SI could be an interesting one. We'll give it a couple minutes, take a look at it. If it doesn't really start rocking and rolling, we'll move on. But I like what we're seeing here so far. Broken that trend. Saw some explosive buying coming in. Giving it this minute to give us some support if we need it. All right, 25 and some change. Keeping an eye on it. After that pullback on that move, nope, not touching it. Big explosive move, volume dried up. A lot of selling pressure there, starting to roll over. Not touching that one. So, on that, that is going to be it for the day. We've raised a little bit, getting us closer. We are now 75%. We made 5% closer. We're now 5% closer to our goal than when we first started here. We're also up nicely in the portfolio so far. Besides one hiccup that we had where Ally wouldn't let us close out of a trade unless we called them because it got halted. Apparently, that's some new rule that they started. We've had, even with that trade included, and that was our biggest loss, we've had, let's go count them real fast. Let's look at our trade history real quick. There we go. So we've had PGY. This was the one that Ally wouldn't let us close out of until we called them, which is why it ended up taking a big loss, and that shouldn't have happened. We should have gotten out with a little bit of a gain actually on that one, but whatever. We'll include that as a loss. Even with that one, due to allies issues, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 trades, not including the 2 trades that are still active right now. Out of those 21 trades, we've only lost on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, you know what? That's not too shabby, folks. We're betting about 68% win average. Our losses, excluding the Peggy one, 0.24%, 1.18%, 0.67, 0.68, 0.63. Very minimal losses. It's all about money management, folks. You can see our wins. 2.9. Here's one we had with DRV up 9%. UVXY 1.6, basically flat on that one. 6.5 with AEL as a short trade. Task 0.32. CNX, some smaller ones, but this is why tight stops allow you to manage a portfolio. You may not make bank every single trade, but small wins, getting you onto first over and over again, gets you points. And as you can tell, I'm not a baseball player, so therefore my baseball reference may be garbage. That's fine. You can blame me later. Becky's asking, when are you doing this again? This is cool. Appreciate the kind words, Becky. But the next Trading for Charity event we will have will be on Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So not next week. We'll be off all week next week. But then we'll be live once again that Tuesday right afterwards. And we'll be doing an extended, our last and only other extended session. We'll be kicking it off at 9 a.m. with our Jockey Club entry or opening. And then we'll be going until the market looks like it's tired. So probably about 11 to noon. So we'll be live for 2.5 to 3 hours easily next Tuesday, starting off at 9 a.m. So on that, thank you all for hanging out with me today. Thank you once again, Becky. Thank you once again, Jay and Shelly, for all the donations, the Levines. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you guys have made a little bit of money here today. I know today hasn't really been the best day, especially with options expiry. I was really hoping today was going to be an explosive day. Didn't really amount to a whole lot that we were expecting. So it is what it is. But hey, there's always tomorrow. As long as you're able to fight another day, able to trade another day, you're doing okay. So on that, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great holiday week. Have a great time. Make sure to really, sit back and take it all in when you're hanging out and spending time with your family. Appreciate the small things. Soak up the time with family, because family is by far the most important thing in life. They're going to be the ones that are with you at the beginning. They're going to be the ones that are with you at the end, no matter what. Nothing else can say that. So make sure to enjoy your time with your family, have a good time. Excuse me. Have a great Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody eats more turkey than they need to. Also, if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on next Tuesday's Trading for Charity event, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Turn on the notification bell. That way you'll get a YouTube notification letting you know when we're live. Also, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button if you've been enjoying yourself here today. All that helps us out, doesn't cost you a thing, continues to grow our awesome community, and helps us with the YouTube algorithm. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and smash that thumbs up. Greatly appreciate that. So until 2 weeks or a week and a half from now, take care. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there. And signing off. Toodles.